All right. One moment. All right. So let's get started. Let me actually, because I'm not at my regular desk. So we're just gonna pull it up here. Okay, so let's get started. Today, we're really just gonna be doing a lab. We're gonna do wireless lab and a routing lab, right? Let's see. Where our labs at? Now remember to always start off at Notion. Okay, when you start to study for the day, just start at Notion, right? Let me come down. Here we go. Cisco Packet Tracer Wireless Lab. Today, like I said, we're just doing the labs, which is a wireless lab, because I kind of want to show you guys how to do it. Basically just an example. And then oh, there we go. And then I want to show you guys like the static routing lab, so you can, like I said, get used to being in the CLI of the devices, whether it's a router or a wireless LAN controller, whatever the case may be. This is something that you guys definitely, if you don't, really understand much, at least try to do these labs and understand these labs, because that's kind of where it comes full circle. Um, if you are not doing the labs, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice, because if anything, the labs is what's going to give you that knowledge, to give you that aha moment, so you can feel more confident, comfortable with the technology at hand. Right. Most of you guys are not taking the CCNA exam. You're basically getting this knowledge so you can utilize it to get a better job, increase your income with tech, regardless of what they may be. And some of you guys are actually taking this course so you can get your CCNA exam and become a network engineer or a network administrator, and what I'm saying, do whatever you need to do with that. So for both of you guys, for whichever path you take, please, please, please do these labs. Now, I was asked to definitely do the wireless lab. Some of well, at least one student definitely came to me and let me know that it's very confusing. So I'm gonna let you know how I was able to do it, complete it, and give you a kind of a way to troubleshoot. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull up our packet tracer. Okay, now actually, I'm going to do this because it's easier to do it side by side. Sometimes I have a double screen. I have two screens. I have a extended monitor at my desk, and sometimes I don't use it. So the times I don't use it, I just use a split screen type of feel when I'm doing my labs, or when I'm trying to do two things at once, right? So let's go ahead, and first things first, when you're in the lab, is you want to build the topology as is, right? Exactly how this looks is what you want to put in packet tracer, so you don't get confused. So as you can see here, it's telling you exactly what to do. Let's go ahead and do it. Now, I'm going to start off with some end devices. I have a laptop. Actually, let me grab it this way. Okay, laptop. And then let's see, we have a PC, a laptop and a PC right here. And then we have a server. Boom. And then let's go to networking, a router. Let's do a switch. Okay, so for this 2960, is this 2960? Yes. For this one, I'm not going to use a router. Because we just care about the wireless LAN. So we're not gonna add in this router. So let's just get in our wireless devices. Let's see, we have a lightweight access point. Maybe this one right here. Yes. Oh, nope. This is the 3702. Let's do that here. Let's do that here. Let's do that here. Let's put that up here. Let's put that up here. Whatever, okay? We're gonna try to make it as close as possible. And a WLC 2504. You see how I'm actually getting the models of the laptops and stuff? Well, I have PC 14 here, and that's because I've been using all these PCs. So let's connect them together. Now, I choose automatic, but again, I want you guys to really choose what's needed. You better really know these cabling types because it's not gonna really. I mean, it would suck to, get cabling types wrong on the exam, right? Okay, cool. So, like I said, we're not gonna add this router because we're just gonna do wireless LAN, which that's that's why I'm doing this lab with you guys. I'll do I won't do every lab, but the labs I will do will be the ones that have a little different variation, like this one. We're not going to use a router. If you do use a router, that's totally fine. That's probably why one of the students got confused because they used the router and it probably made you add in a whole bunch of other settings. I don't know. This is a pretty older lab, but as far as for me, when I'm doing, so they're all wireless labs are kind of the same. It's just for you to get into the GUI. So, um, I mean, that's just what I just don't use a router. So this is kind of the same for every wireless lab. Let me go ahead and come down. Okay. So we did all that. Click on the wireless LAN controller icon. All right, so now we're about to start configuring some things. So before I even do that, I want to come down. Once I put everything in a topology how it should be, I create a, let me come here. Yes, let's go ahead and start naming these things. So we're gonna say 192.168.1.20/24. Cool. And then we got 192.168.1.100/24. Cool. And then we got what's this? Okay. We got a 192.168.1.10/24. Cool. Like I said, we're not going to use this router. So 123, 123, we're good. Let me go ahead and click on that. So the .20 is the server. And the .100 is the PC. And the 10 is the wireless LAN controller. Okay. And I'm also going to put we're going to do management. And we're going to do DHCP. Okay. Click back on that. So we just know that this is the management right here. Okay. That's our management PC. That's the PC that we're going to work from as an administrator. This is our PC. And then we have a DHCP server. Okay. Put that server over here. We're just naming it. I like to name mine to ensure that I don't get confused, right? Now, obviously, you're like, well, where does it say management and where does it say DHCP? That's for my understanding. As you go through this, you'll definitely know that we're going to turn this into a DHCP, and this one is obviously going to be our management. But as a newbie, you probably wouldn't understand it, right? It's okay, but you're following what I'm doing to, like I said, get it all so you can understand how to do the labs and it can click. At least this lab. All right, so click on the wireless LAN controller icon and go. Okay, so wireless controller, we're gonna click on that bad boy. And This is in my way. Put that up here. All right, so the LAN controller, click on the management config tab, the management, and it says put the IP address. Well, you're gonna put his IP address, right? This is that, so we're gonna make sure that I don't know what that came from. Let's do a 0. We don't really have a default gateway, but they said we can add one if we want to. So I'm just gonna do what they have us doing it here, and then DNS server, whatever. Let's put a DNS server here. I always just like to add one just because I'm just so used to adding DNS servers. 8.8.8.8.8 is Google's DNS server, so that's why I'm using it. So on our wireless LAN controller, we have the IP address of the wireless LAN controller that's coupled with the subnet mask, a default gateway, and a DNS server. Cool. Cool. Now we can exit out of it. And now it says on computer 0, which is ours as computer PC, configure this address and the subnet mask. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and click on it. Let's go to config. Let's let's config. Let's go to this, and we're going to configure an IP address, which is the one we just put down. 168.1.100. Right, subnet mask should be /24. That is great. Now let's go into desktop, and it says open the command prompt window on PC 0 and run the IP config command. So command prompt, and we're gonna do IP config. Make sure you spell it right. And yes, our IP address is here and it's verified. Okay, so it says also verify the computer can ping the IP address of the LAN controller. I don't think I can do that just yet. Let's just see. Ping 192.168.1. We didn't even set up the server, so that's probably not gonna work. Yeah, it's pinging. It's gonna time out. Actually, it's not. It didn't time out. Reply. So it did reply, and that's because it's on his land. So I didn't have to set up the server too much for it to reply. And as you can see, the reply, it came back and it says it lost 25. So this is actually good. I don't think we saw this. I don't know. I don't remember, but I could tell you guys now that it lost 4 packets were sent. 1 packet was lost, as you can see, request timed out, but we definitely got a reply from the LAN, from the wireless LAN controller. So we received 3, we lost 1, so we had a 25% loss. That 1 loss, that 25% came from an ARP, because we've never had any type of communication between us, the management computer, and the wireless LAN controller. So the switch has to figure out, how do I get to this IP address? I don't read IP addresses. So the switch had to ARP out and say, hey, who does this IP address belong to? And then the wireless LAN controller sent an echo and say, hey, that's my IP address. And so the switch was able to build a frame based off of the MAC address of that echo reply from the wireless LAN, and actually send out this data. So now that's why we have the reply here. Okay. So that was verified. Now it says on the computer PC 0, open a web browser and go to URL whoopty. All right, let's see about that. So we're gonna go into this PC. Let's go into the web browser. Let's type in this address, http:// or / I think that's a backslash. I don't know. Just know it's those type of slashes. 192.168.1.10. Whose address is this? This is the address of the wireless LAN controller. Okay, so let's go. Let's click on go or enter. And you see it's doing something. but we need to make sure that this is open. Let me see what happens. This make request out, but let's just see. Let's see. It takes a minute a lot of times with bringing up web pages, or at least initially. But it doesn't look like it's gonna go because look at this right here. We want to be able to set something up here. It's not timing out, but we're following these lab steps, and I'm starting to see how it can kind of confuse you guys if you don't know that you have to configure all of these things. Okay, it's not giving me an error, so I don't want to jump the gun. And you have to do HTTP and not HTTPS because we don't need it to have a secure connection on the initial setup. The secure connection comes after the initial setup for a wireless LAN controller. But I'm not getting anything. So let's exit. Let's go to our ouch. And let's see what we have here. It's this. Sometimes you have to power things off, put a module in. Put a module in and then power it back on. I don't know. And then let's put an IP address on here. But should we make this a HTTP? Make sure that's all on. And then DHCP. It's gonna make us set this up anyway. But let's see. Create your wireless network. I really don't want to set this up from here, but let's go ahead and do it. Okay. Let's click service on the default gateway. They gave us one. I believe it was like 192.168.1.1. DNS server. We always just use Google because that's just what I like to do. Start IP address 192. Again, I'm using the same scheme as they're giving on the lab. Okay. Subnet mask 255.255. Let's just say it's about 25 IPs that we need. Let's put in this address. Not 1, 10. And then we're gonna save. That looks good. I think the most important thing was the WLC address, right? Because we're creating this a DHCP server. We can create any type of server, honestly, as you can see here. It could be a DNS server. It can be a system logging, TFTP for files, whatever. But right now we're focused on HTTP, which is both on. Okay, that's good. And then DHCP, which is on for right now. All right. Let me go and config interface, and I'm gonna add this here. Okay, cool. Speed that up. What's happening right here? Let me go to this laptop. Oh, this laptop, let's power it off. I'm gonna put that module. As you can see, like these are the modules, right? You have to power off the device. Power on, you have to power off, and then you can switch the modules right here. I had the links system, whatever. This is a module that provides 2.4 gigahertz of wireless interface suitable for connection to wireless networks, right? So I can just take this, drag and drop it, make it seem a little realistic. I guess that's what Cisco got going on. But let's power on that puppy. And then let's connect it off. I don't know why this is not here. This lightweight access point. I don't even think we have to get this. Oh, yes, we do. Oh my gosh, Cisco. They're gonna come over here and they're gonna attach the power adapter. And now, uh-oh. Can you still see my screen? Yes. And now we can get some service. Okay. Let me put that up here. There we go. That's really what that was. So let's try it again. Let's go back to management. Let's go back to our HTTP colon 192.68.110 and then go. Now it takes a little minute, honestly. I don't know why I keep clicking on this. Oh, okay. There we go. Sorry, guys. So let me show you that again. Obviously, I wasn't recording the screen. So let me go. Where was we? Oh, I was at the wireless. So you see now it's green. It's because I had to freaking take this power cable and freaking drag and drop it right here so it can connect to power. Cisco does that to make it more real life, right? So once I connected to power, it was able to do what it needs to do. Okay. So let's go into management again, and let's go into our web browser, and we're gonna do HTTP boom boom 192. We're putting in the management IP for the wireless LAN. Okay. We're gonna go. And it looks like it's doing some things like, oh, I'm trying to see what's happening. All right. And we should make it. It takes a little time, honestly. Open the web browser. Okay, so yeah, this is where we're at. We have to open this web browser. And it's taking this lovely time. Let me go over here. Yeah, I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. Let's go back to the PC. Actually, before we even hit the browser, let me go back to command prompt. I want to just ensure that I can still talk to the wireless LAN control. Because if I can't ping it, then I can't get in it. Okay, so that was pretty quick. So I definitely have access to it. All right, let me get off on the web browser. Let me hit the HTTP. Before I even do that really quick, let me come into my PC and let me just make sure that the firewall is off. Okay. And then let me make sure that where we got PC wireless. We need physical. So we gotta power this thing down, okay? And then we need to add, where do I add this module? Is it on the back or is it on the front? I don't know. But let's come here. This module provides enough. Oh, I gotta take that module out. Okay. Oh, I tell you, this wireless thing here will not be connected to that port. Where can it be connected to? Oh my goodness. Okay, let me go back into here. Power on. Do I have it here already? Yes, I do. There we go. I'm gonna exit. Then I can come here and put it. What we got going on? Let me see. Oh, because it's saying that I can. Let me see. What's this? 3G provides cellular interface. What's this? Provides. Okay. I'm gonna move this out. Oh, I can't move and power's on. Let me click that. And then what's this? That's what we just had. This was the host. RJ11 connections. Oh, I guess. I mean, I'm not gonna hook it up to wireless. I don't really have to do all that, honestly, because I can go back. Right, power that baby on. So this is the one that really needed the connection. Okay, yes. And then, there we go. Let me speed that puppy up. Make sure that that IP address is still configured. It ain't configured worth a dang. 192.168.100 subnet mask. Cool. That's the IP. Desktop IP configurations. Default gateway 192.168.1.1. DNS server 8.8.8.8. Cool. That's how we gonna play it. Exit out of that really quick. Let me just run that same command back. Okay, maybe I can. 192.168.1.10. Cool. So I can run it back. Let me exit out of that web browser. HTTP 192.168.1.10. Right? Is that where we're at? Go. I think that's what I'm gonna click. It's taking this lovely little time, I tell you that. Let me just make sure my DHCP server, it don't have a gateway, but it ain't that serious. All right, that's cool. It has both capabilities. Okay. Let me see settings. There we go. Like this thing took forever. Okay. So let me pull this up here. Oops. Let me pull this up here. So when you go to the website, actually, I should probably put it this way. When you go to that URL, you will hit the home page, right? Welcome. Please start by creating an admin account. So create an admin account with an appropriate password that you can easily remember. So we're gonna say our name is admin and our password is admin123. Actually, our password is Cisco123. Okay, so it's gonna be Cisco123 with a capital C to be exact. Right, and we're gonna say start. Now, set up your controller with the appropriate system name along with the management IP, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Right, subnet mask, 5 default gateway. Okay, so we need to set it up with this. So it says create your wireless network by the name, oh, actually, no. Okay, system name is WLC. All right, WLC, let's do 2022, because I do this once a year. Date and time. Time is good, optional. Management IP. Now here it says the management IP, we're going to continue to use it, which is 192.168.1.10. Yeah. And then we have a subnet mask of, what did we say? Oh, 24. So that's 255.255.255.0. Default gateway, it tells us right here. Again, we're just following the steps now. 192.168.1.1. That's what we've been using this whole time. So, and then the VLAN value was 0. And then click the next button. All right, so now it says enter your wireless network. This is going to be an employee network. It looks like it. Create your wireless network by setting the network name to employee. All right, employee. All right, then security to WPA to personal. All right, and then the passphrase is set to employee. All right, EMPLOYEE. Yeah, I don't know how to spell EMPLOYEE. And then management, and we don't need all that. And then click the next button. Now it says confirm the settings and click apply virtual IP address. I guess, I don't know. I'm just gonna confirm it after waiting 1 minute. Next, please confirm settings and apply. All right, so apply. The system will reboot after these settings are applied. Click OK to apply the configuration or cancel. Let's just go ahead and click OK. So over here, it says, after waiting 1 minute for the controller to reconfigure itself with new settings, log back into the wireless LAN controller via HTTPS. Now remember, we did HTTP in the beginning. Now since we set up the initial settings, we can use a secure connection, which is PS, right? HTTPS. Same address, because this is the address of our wireless LAN controller, right? We're just using the GUI. So let that do what it needs to do. Saving the configuration, take a minute. Let me scroll down to see what else. Okay, so basically it's just more settings. And we kind of did some of them. If you was following along with me, then we kind of did DHCP already. So we just did that 5-6 steps ahead, but that's okay. We can just go through it one more time. But this is going to take a little time. I don't know why the wireless labs, the wireless LAN labs, as far as packet tracer is concerned, they take forever when they're loading and doing its thing. So most of the time, it's just like a waiting game, honestly. It's just like, it's definitely going to take more than a minute. Okay. But in the meantime and in between time, do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about anything? Did you want me to re-explain anything while we're waiting? This lesson is really just about the labs, right? The wireless lab, and then we'll do a little bit with the static configuration, so you can kind of do that. I could kind of show you a little bit, but today is really just labbing, because it's really important that you understand how to actually configure these things, right? But no questions? Okay, that's fine. And this is taking awfully a lot of time. I don't know why it's taking so long. And I don't know if I can close out. I don't want to close out of it and it messes up something, because this, once it starts over, is like forever. Let me see. I confirmed and I go here. Okay, we're gonna do SSIDs and stuff. See, it's really good. So wireless was last week, but at least I can do the lab and upload the lab for you guys, and you can kind of see um how to do it. But this is actually taking a lot of time, but I'm probably gonna just exit out. I feel like if I exit out, I may mess it up. And I would hate to go back and do this all over again. Um, but at least at least you guys know, right? How to at least get to like this part. Again, it's just really following the lab. Um, I'm about to exit out because I'm impatient and I shouldn't be, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, let's do HTTPS, right? Colon and some slashes, and then our private IP or our management IP address, which is private nonetheless, but no, there we go. So we need to log in. What did we use? We used admin, and then we used Cisco 123. I use Cisco 123 for everything, so there we go. Now we are in there like swimwear, okay? So we are now, this is exactly like spitting image. Now it's a little older as far as like the look, but this is kind of like spitting image of what you're gonna see out in the field if you was a wireless network engineer. Or a network engineer that specialized on the wireless side. So yeah, so this is exactly what you're gonna see. The management IP of the wireless LAN controller right here. You'll see all these settings. So let's just see what they want us to do. Click on the WLANs. WLANs, that's what I'm gonna say. WLANs tab, a new profile named employee with SSID of employee should have already what? Been created. If not, do create this new profile name employee with SSID employee and click button apply to save these settings. Submit, okay, we don't need to submit a but as you can see here, our profile name employee and our SSID is employee, which is the service set identification. And our admin setting is enabled. Our security policies is we're going to use these types of securities. We're going to talk more about security when we get to that section. I don't want to confuse you guys. So just know that this is what security settings will look like, right? So click on the ID number. It's only one. And then, oops. And then click on security. Oh, okay. Then click on security. There we go. And it says tab. Within the layer 2 settings, verify that layer 2 security is set to whatever it wants us to set to. So let's do on the security settings. Let me see. There we go. IP address. It's not saying new. Oh, let me go back here. I think I clicked on the wrong thing. I wasn't allowing it to do its thing. Maybe I should open this up a little bit. Is it? There we go. Shit. Basically, this is telling me that I need to calm down, right? And I suggest you take a little page from my book and calm down. Okay, cool. So security, layer 2 security. We want to make sure it looks like that, you know? Yep, that's about right. And then the WPA 2 policy should be check marked. Yep, it is. And it says AES encryption should be checked marked. Okay, it is. And PSK authentication should be enabled. Enabled, it is. If not already, configure. So set the PSK, pre-shared keys, to a value that can you easily remember. We already got it. Boom, apply. Click on apply. Like I said, changing. All right. Okay. We're just gonna click OK. But like I said, these settings is honestly the same type. This is like exactly what you're gonna see out in the field. So if you can literally do this part right here, you can put that on your resume. Say you've configured some wireless LANs, and you can actually tell them steps if you want, right? Um, but that's if you're feeling dangerous. So anyway, so boom, so we did that, and I would suggest, since you're here, play around with things. See what. Okay, so we have security, we have layer 2, and layer 3, and AA server. Like you should probably do a little investigating, and navigating on your own, so you can see what this is about. But anyway, we're done here, right? We're going to minimize that. And then it says on server, we already did this. We configured the status. I mean, the IP already. As you can see, we configured this IP address. So we did that in the beginning. That's because I already knew that this was going to be DHCP. I jumped the gun. I should have followed with you guys, but it's okay. And then it says configure server as a DHCP server. Like I said, we just did these steps. Create a DHC pool. We will actually go into DHCP next week. So I'm not even going to go into what we have going on with that, because you're already going to set that up later. All right. And then it says screenshot. Okay. Oh, on this, you got to click the DHCP thing. Okay, let's click on that. Okay, cool. And then it's just gonna get it's gonna get we don't want that. I don't know. Let me come here. We always want to exclude our default gateway. Let's come over here and do 101, baby. Enter. Let's save that. We want to exclude that. So we come over here. Let's do static, and then let's do DHCP again. Okay, there we go. Now that's a better address, because I don't want to use the address I've been using. Okay, cool. So what do we click the radio button from PC0 web, connect to the web. What did it say? Connect to the web interface of the wireless LAN controller and click the menu tab labeled wireless. So let's come in here and excuse me. Let's go to wireless. And then it says submit a screenshot of this display, which should show the access point and its IP address, establish connectivity. So yeah, you see, established connectivity of the LAP, right? The lightweight access point, and the IP address. You see, we just DHCP gave the IP address to that access point, and we have it here. And it tells you the model, and it even tells you the MAC address, the uptime. This has been up for 25 minutes, which is a friggin' lie. Oh no, it's probably true. We've been on this call for almost an hour. And all some other good stuff. Oh, look at that, Flex Connect. Back here. Oh, excuse me. I thought I saw Flex Connect. Yeah, AP mode. The mode is Flex Connect, right? So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Excuse me. I should go blow my nose. Okay, so laptop 0. Let's see. Let's go down here. Laptop. What they want to do? Go to the physical tab, turn on the power. We did that already. You see, it wants you to add in a module and everything. We did that already, so we ain't even got to do that. But turn the laptop on, go to configuration, and what do they want us to do? Click on interface wireless 0. and then configure the wireless interface settings such as SSID to set the employee. So what do they want to do that at? Oh, excuse me. Configure the wireless 0. So it says authentication, and I guess we have to do authentication is the WPAP. Is it 2? Yes. Hold on, you guys. Let me go blow my nose really quick. Okay. Ugh. All right. I'm back. Back and I'm better. All right. So authentication, we're gonna set it to the P. All right, PSK number 2. And then it wants me to add in a passphrase set to employee. Okay. EMP. Okay, that's employee. And then what else it wants me to do? Configure that. And then encryption type is AES. We got that. We'll talk about what AES and all these types mean. I don't want to get you guys confused. Right now, you just need to be able to follow directions on this lab here. IP configuration is set to DHCP, which it is. So yeah, if the IP is detained, try renewing it. Okay, cool. So that's that. And then it says on laptop 0, verify that you can ping the address of the. Oh, okay, let's see. That's that. We got the wireless. That's set up. Address. We got an address. Now, how can I ping? I'm gonna go to the command prompt. Verify you can ping the DHCP address from the command prompt window, send screenshots. So let's first do IP config. IP config. And okay. So I got an address here, right? Let's see if I can ping what they want, ping the DHCP. So that's why I like to write the address outside, because it's easier to read it instead of going back and forth. So ping 192.168.1.20, right? Let's see. And it says on laptop, ping it 1.20. It timed out, and it says, oh, okay. So they just wanted to see if we could get it all set up. That's what that was. Because then it says 2 points here to do this and do that. Let's go to, because it all requested timeout, so it didn't hit the ping. 100% loss, as you can see. Let's go to physical. That was that. Oh, maybe I should. Nope, that was it. That's the right one. This is good. Yeah, 300 in. So it told us to put that one. Told us to configure it. The interface is wireless. So if we configure on the wireless, we got this passphrase, employee, encryption, DHCP. I like to refresh the DHCP address. What is this? I don't know about this address. What it say here? It says if the address is not in the range configured, try renewing the IP address by clicking static. Yeah, this is not how I want it to be, because you can see the address looked funny. It's all funny. Yeah, it's not in the range I want it to be. Definitely not. Let me go back to DHCP and see Why it's throwing off a stupid range. 25. Yeah, this is good. Pool name, default gateway. Yeah, I don't know about all that, boss. Let me do 10. All right, we gonna save it. Okay, and let's go here, and then laptop, static, oh, DHCP, wireless. That's where we at. Um, password. Yeah, why is it giving me this nasty thing? Hmm. I don't like how it's giving me this address. This address is not in the range. It's telling me to renew the IP address by clicking static and radio buttons, but that is not, it's not giving what it's giving. Let's do this. Because if it's not in the range, then obviously it's not gonna ping. Oh, DHCP failed. Oh, what's being used? I don't know what that means. And when you don't know what something means, APIPA, APIP is being used. What? I don't know what that means. It's currently not working. The device has defaulted to using assigning IP addresses. So why did DHCP fail? We should probably look it up, right? And see what's going on. Try finishing up this lab for some reason, but after 4 hours of working, something spent. I'm sure someone has completed. Can you please send me the config? Sure thing. I put the PK file. Okay. They really help it. Define the IP helper address. I don't have a router, so I don't know what's going on. Well, maybe that's why, because I don't have a router. I do need a router though. Default gateway. Yep, I don't have a router here, so obviously it cannot route any traffic from my laptop. But it's okay because the whole purpose of this was to be able to get into this GUI and play around with it. Because this is exactly what's in the real world, and this is what you can put exactly on your resume, right? As you can see. Okay, cool. Now, before this gets too long, I want to do the routing basics lab, maybe. Let me see. No, not this lab. Let's do the one. I should probably update this. Let's do this lab. Is it an IP connectivity? Yes, yes, yes. Let's do this lab. Now, we're not going to do the full lab. I honestly just want to show you guys, again, how to set it up, right? Let me see how to do the, at least, yes, how to set it up. We're not going to go through the whole thing. We're just going to, like I said, set up the topology and show you guys the actual commands. Okay, so let's set this up really quick. So we got PC, and we have a PC, and we have a PC, and then we have a router, and another router, and another router, and then we got some type of switch, and then we got another switch, and then we got another switch. Okay, and then I'm gonna take some connections. Boom, 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 and down, 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 up, up, up. Okay, there we go. And clearly we have these little lightning bolts. And it tells you right here, it's a DCE, a digital central equipment, digital something equipment. I don't know, but let's go to DCE serial, and we can put in the gigabit. The cable cannot be connected to that. Oh, of course it cannot. Let's let me click out of that. Let me go to the router, and you have to put these modules on. So we're gonna turn that baby off, and we're gonna use serial module. Oh, this is good. 2T is a 2-port multi-protocol synchronous serial. Let's do that. Let's put that there. Boom. Power on. Let's do that to every router. You have to do that to the router. You have to turn it off, right? Put the module in here and turn it back on, just like the wireless ones, right? So go into each router. Let me blow it up for you guys. You can even zoom in. This is exactly what a router looks like a real life router that you hopefully one day will work on in an enterprise setting. Or you could just buy these on at eBay or Amazon for like 5,000, not five. Well, you can buy for 5,000, but like $500. But anyway, boom. You're gonna power it off, right? Then you're gonna take a module. These are real life modules that you put into computer equipment, and you're gonna power it back on, right? You're gonna exit out of it. Now, we should be able to add some serial cables. See, now we get a serial, and we can add the serial to the serial. It kind of makes me want cereal now. Then that to the serial of the serial, right? And then of the other serial to the other serial. Now, boom, look at us. We did our thing. Um, Now I always like to add the same things they have here because it makes you just really organized. So let me, where we at? I have to move this out my way. Not this, not that. There we go. There we go. And I'm gonna move this out my way. Now I can do this. I'm gonna put it the same way. I'm gonna say 172.16.1.0.1.0/24. I'm gonna do another one, which is 192.168.1.0/24. Then I'm gonna do 172.16.2.0.24. I'm just copying, right? It shouldn't be 172.16.3.0/24 and 192.168.2.0/24. Change my little hand so that this network is here. .2, where's my .2? This the same address. I didn't even say anything. Y'all just be letting me just mess up my little stuff. All right, and this is gonna be over here. Okay, and then the 3 gonna be down here. And then this one gonna be right here. And then this is this network. Okay. If you want, you can kind of make it prettier. When I started, I was obsessed with making these things straight. And then I wasn't pinging anything. And then I started to be like, okay, who cares about the look? And then I started doing good. And then I started caring about the look again. So, all right. Now it's up to you how you want to do this. But like I said, I keep it just a little organized over here. Now, boom. Now it's easy for you to can actually configure these things. So let's come down here. I literally start from the top and configure all the way down. What I love about this lab is everything is a /24, so you ain't even gotta get crazy. Okay. One thing I want to show you is let's go to this router, right? Because what did we talk about yesterday? We talked about routing, static routes, and the routing source as far as are you getting the routes from static, dynamic, what's going on? So let me go into the CLI. I'm just gonna enter, enable, right? And we're gonna do show IP route. There's nothing here. Look, show IP route. There's nothing. There's no routes. We added nothing. So let's go ahead and add some things. So again, make sure you name your names. So I would come here and be like, this is router 1. This right here is router 2. Is it? Yeah, router 2. And this right here is router 3. And then for router 1, I would come in and, I was already here. And I'm gonna do conft. So I'm about to start configuring. Actually, I don't even know what to configure. So let me exit out and let me do show IP interface brief. All right. So we have our gigabit that we gonna configure, and we have a serial that we gonna configure. What is that? 0/2. Okay, cool. So let's do that. So let's do conft. Let's do interface. It's G00000. All right, now we in the interface. Let's add an IP. And now y'all should know how to do this step. I shouldn't have to really teach you this step because we kind of did this before. IP address is that IP address. Is that true? Yes. And then you always got to add that subnet mask, right? And then no shut. No shut interfaces. No shut down is what it's called. We're gonna no shut it to bring it up. And then what we gonna do? We can go into an interface serial 0/2/0. I don't know if that was the real. Yep, that is it. And then we're gonna do add an IP address. IP address, what they want us to add. 172.16.2.1. Don't forget your subnet mask. And then no shut as well. Right? Change. Now, let's go to end. Let's go to show IP interface. Let's look at interface brief. Look at that. We got some stuff assigned. Some stuff is up and down. Let's do show IP route. Oh, look, we got a connected route and a local route. Okay. And it's telling us that the router, this is the router's routing table. It's show IP route. It's the router routing table. And it even tells you what L stands for, what C stands for, what S and R and all that good stuff. So C, we have a connected route, and L, we have a local route. So on our routing table, we have this network that's subnetted, excuse me, and it's telling you it's directly connected to these gigabits. Now we don't have our serial. Why we don't have our serial? Because I'm going to tell you this now, but we have to make sure all of these are on. All of these get configured before they turn green and our router has the route. Actually, here's another one. There's another one right here. I didn't even open that baby up. But regardless, let's router 1. Nope, that was router 2. So let's go to router 2 and let's do the same thing, right? Let me come over here. CLI, would you like to set up? I don't want to set none. Enable. All right, so where we at? Router. I like to go in and do show IP interface brief so I can see what's going on because I don't really, you should probably actually connect it to FA0/1 and all this other stuff. I'm just a little Russian, so I'm going to use this, and we have what? 2 serials? 0/2. Okay, cool. So let's do conf. Right. Interface 0/0. No shut. IP. You can do it in any order. You don't got to do the IP address first and then no shut. You can put whatever. IP address 172.16.1.1, 255.255. Interface serial 0/2/0. No shut. Cool. IP address. What's the IP address that I want to use? 172.16.2.2. Put that back. .2.2, 255.255.255.0. Cool. Then interface serial 0/1/0. Let me see. Let me go back up. /2/1/2/1. Shut. IP address. What's the IP address we want to use? 192.168.1.2. Don't forget your subnet mask. Uh-oh. Misspellings. Let's come all the way back because IP address has two S. Okay, done. Now we didn't configure router 2. You see how quick that was? Now you see how now these turn green, so these can talk to each other now. Now we got to do the same thing to these, right? Let me come here and let me come over here. CLI. No, we don't want to do none of that. Enable. Like I said, I like to do a show IP interface brief, right? Briefly see what's going on with these interfaces so I can read. So we're going to do the same things. And we're going to do conft. We're going to do interface 0/0/0. No shut. I used to put no shit all the time. So make sure you put no shut. IP address. What IP address they got for router 3? 192, right? .1668. .2.1. I'm starting to get cross-eyed here. Did I say no shut? I sure did. I could do interface serial /0/2/0. No shut. IP address. What we got? Where's the IP? Oh. IP address 192.168.1.1, 255.255.255.0. All right, cool. Now, let's go ahead and end, and let's do show IP interface brief one more time. And look at that, baby. That thing is up and kicking. Okay, look at those two. And then we can also do show IP route. And we got some routes here. We got some local and some connected. Okay, that means that our router knows some routes now. Because we told the router, we gave it IP addresses. What's going on here? Why I can't, what's happening? Let me see. What is this IP address? This is, oh man, go back. This is, what's down? Oh, it's not set. Serial 0/2/1. Let's come in here. I already did that. Conft interface serial 0/ what? 2? I don't know. /2/1. Let me do this. I forgot what this was. 2/1. Why doesn't no one give me what I wanted to give me? /2/1. Okay. Well, I guess I just had to click on it. /2/1. No shut. And what is that? That's on router 1. That's on router 1. IP address 172.16.2.1. See, that's why you need to pay attention on what things you connecting, because I literally, it overlaps. I literally just said this. 02.1. Let's do 02.01.2. Okay, let's do 16. Oh, let's do this one. Is it 3? Let's do 4.1. There we go. Mother freaker. All right, cool. Now for this one, what interface is this? This is interface serial 2 and 1. Okay, so it's the same thing over here. So we're gonna do conft interface serial 0/2/1. No shut. IP address. What was that? Router 3? Router 3 had a serial. I'm gonna do 192. Oh, 192.168.2.1. 255.255. Overlaps. No, it don't. Oh, it do. I ain't even say nothing. Let me go over here. Let's do 3.1 then. Shoot, I don't know. Let's do 3.1. There we go. Wait a minute. Okay, boom, look. So you see they're all green. That's what I want you guys to do is set this up. Remember the PCs is simple PCs. Config and default gateway 172.16.3.1. And then our interface, we're going to give it an IP address. The IP address is going to be 172.16.3.10. Subnet mask is that 255. Okay. I suggest you do that to like all PCs. I'm not going to do that to all the PCs because I really, before this gets too long, I want to show you guys something, which is how to actually, I think you should read all this. I'm just going to skip through because, I mean, look at this. Configure the host. We did most of it. This is going to take us all day. Okay, let's come here. IP route. Here we go. Configure a static route using an exit interface. No, we don't want to use exit interface. Let's here we go. Configure a static route using next hop address. So what router do we want to go into? Let's go into router 3 and let's end. Okay. So now we have to get into the config terminal, conft. And this is how you configure a static route. It's very, very simple. Watch this. I gotta look at my stuff. Watch this. So we're in the config terminal and we're gonna do IP route. Boom, that's 1. Then we're gonna add the network address. The address is 172.16.1.0. Then we're gonna add the subnet mask of that network address. So we're gonna press space and put a 255.255.255.0. And then we're going to put the next hop. The next hop is what? It is an IP address of the next router in line, which is 192.168.1.2. We're going to press enter. As long as no errors come back, that means that we did what we were supposed to do. So what does this mean exactly? So it means that network 172.16.1.0/24, where's that at? 172.16, right here, this network, right? And that's the subnet. And then the next in line from router 3 perspective is 192.1.2. Who is that? Looks like it's this network right here. So this is the IP address. So from So basically this line, this command line right here that we just did and it took and everything's good. So this router 3 is saying that, hey, I can get to this network, these computers, by the way of this router. That's what that's saying. Okay. Now, what you would do is you would set up that same. This is the command that I copied. You would do the same command on every router. And not only on every router, you not the same command because maybe you'll probably do like another route that you want to route. But you will do this IP route command on every router. In addition, you'll do that every single route you want to take. So let's go in and let's do show IP route. Oh, now we get some routes. Look at us. We just did this route. This is a static route. It's on our routing table. We just told the router how to route traffic. Okay? That's a skill there. Now, again, you would have to do that for everyone. So imagine if there were 100 routers and 100 routes. You would have to do this 100 times 100. So of course they would be like, hey, you wouldn't do this alone. They would hire more people. But guess what? We don't even have to do all that tedious work. We can actually configure a protocol called OSPF or whatever protocol, ERGRP. So we don't have to submit all these different routes statically. We don't have to configure these every single device for every single route. That's kind of redundant, because not only do I have to sell from R3, I have to get here. From R2, I have to know how to get here. And then I know how to have to get here. And then from R1, you know how convoluted this can get if we just start keep adding in routes and devices. If I was just to add like 5 more computers or whatever, like that's a lot. So we're not going to do all that. We're going to add in dynamic routes. But before we jump the gun and get ahead of ourselves, because that is tomorrow's lesson, today's lesson is static routes. What I just did, you should be able to do just as fast, right? Follow this. This is really good because it asks you questions and make you think about why you're doing these things, which is very important. Because if you don't understand the concept, then all of this was for nothing. Okay? So this is pretty good. This is called working the CLI. Yes, this is just labbing, but this is real life, right? You real deal will do this, a real deal enterprise, and they will real deal pay you a lot of money to do this task. You just have to have the certificate. As far as network engineering goes, because my job literally, the fact that I can do this, they give me the money, but I don't do this because we're not gonna mess with routes in our enterprise network that's been going on for 50 plus years. We're gonna keep it how it's going. Okay. And the senior engineer will change routes if it needs to, if they need to. All right. And let's say you are the senior engineer, you're still going to consult with the team on what routes to put in, what routes to do. You're going to submit your configurations to your manager. Your manager's going to be like, cool, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's still like you're still not just going to hop up on first day or first month of the job and start configuring. Now it may be something like that, but that's highly rare. And if you do jump into something like that, they're going to pay you a lot of money. Okay. When I say a lot of money, unless you're used to making like $250,000 a year, it's a lot of money. So yeah. Hopefully you guys can take a whole day, 2-3 hours out your day and go through this. Really understand this. Really understand this lab because it's gonna set you up for life. But that's it, you guys. That's all I have. Uh I'm going to it's 2-hour class. I'm going to definitely hour and a half. Definitely take a minute to put it up on YouTube and get it back into this notion here. But yeah, that's all I really want to show you guys was labbing. Did you guys have any questions or comments or concerns about anything? Um, if not, definitely work on this lab on your spare time so we can move on and start dynamic routing tomorrow. Very exciting. I'm ready for week 4. I'm ready to do DHCP again and DNS. And, those are my favorite network time protocol. They're just very small protocols that I just like configuring. But yeah, since no questions, comments, concerns, until next time, see you guys for dynamic routing.